And welcome back to more Animal Crossing New Horizons. Last time, I think we went over Bunny Day and a few seasonal items. To be honest, I don't actually remember because it feels like it's been a while. This time, we are going over the final seasonal item of April. So we have a cool globe. First of all, let's check the description for it. Event, Nature Day. Use this day to think about and take action for the Earth's environment. Pick up trash, plant trees, recycle. No matter where you live, there are many ways to do your part to make the world a healthier, happier place. So, this is available until April 22nd. And as far as I'm aware, there aren't any variants of this. So unlike the prom gear, you don't have to worry about checking the store constantly. Alright, we've seen it in the shop, but let's see what it actually looks like. So yeah, there it is. So like in the shopping listing, we can spin the globe as well, which is very fun. But this is kind of interesting actually, because there was actually a Nature Day event last year that doesn't seem to be returning. So last year, the update that added Nature Day added in Leaf as well, who sells like rare flowers and bushes to plant around your town. So, with the introduction of Leaf, there was a Nature Day event. I think it lasted about a week, and basically gave you extra Nook miles for special tasks. And that event hasn't come back, and it's kind of a shame in some ways, but I kind of get it, because that was definitely kind of like meant to be an introduction to Leaf. So now that he's been in the game for an entire year, it kind of isn't necessary to have like a tutorial event for this character, I guess. But on the other hand, it does feel weird losing out on an event that was already in the game last year. At this point, also, I feel like people have so many Nook miles if you've been playing regularly, that also doesn't really matter getting Nook miles. Since it was just Nook miles, it wasn't really a great reward. It was kind of a nice way to incentivize planting things on your island, especially because that was like within the first month of the game's release, and it was a great way to incentivize actually going through and planting a bunch. But now it's a little bit less relevant, I guess. But again, it's still kind of a shame that they did not bring that back. And they did bring back Bunny Day, of course. But again, it was actually a lot less bad this year. Definitely not great, but definitely an improvement. So, with that, we have gone over everything except one thing for this update. The only thing left for the April update is the Sanrio Amiibo, which I still do not have, because scalping is bad. So basically, the Amiibo cards were Target exclusive, they were store pickup only, which also really sucked. So a lot of people managed to pick up extras and started selling them for really high prices on online. So if you look online, a lot of card packs of all 6 cards are like $60 when they were originally like I think under $10, like $6 or something. So yeah, that's definitely quite the price hike. So yeah, obviously I have not been able to find the cards myself because I refuse to go inside of a store right now. But I really wish they had done this whole system differently. I wish the cards were not available only at one retailer, and especially a retailer that did in-store only, right now especially. So yeah, overall I feel like this was handled really poorly. Oh hey, Gulliver. To be honest, I've completely lost track of how many times I've actually helped him, so I have no clue how close I am to the golden shovel. But I'll probably help him out off screen, because this will probably take a while, and I have other things to go over. So yeah, I also looked into the Japanese re-release, but the Japanese release is handled differently than the international release of these cards. So it actually works more like the original Amiibo cards, where they were randomized. But because there's only 6, I think what happens is you get 2 cards, and they're randomized. So to get the Japanese cards imported, I looked, and a pack of them imported are like $20, so that would hypothetically be, on the low end, $60 for all of them. So you might as well just buy the horribly priced scalping cards if it's gonna be about the same price, right? Either way, that's like way too expensive for what you get from the cards, even though, to be honest, the furniture from those cards is lovely. I really like the Sanrio furniture sets, even though I've never actually obtained them myself. I have seen plenty of pictures and videos of them, and they're really cool, and I really wish more people could get these cards. But then scalpers just have to go and ruin everything. So yeah, I am clearly slightly bitter about this, but hopefully someday the cards will be more widely available. In the past, a lot of things that were retailer exclusive would eventually become more widely available. So for example, you have a lot of Amiibo that were Toys R Us exclusive, and for obvious reasons, they were restocked elsewhere when they would be reprinted. I'm pretty sure some games that were exclusive have also gotten reprints at other retailers as well. Guess what? Got something for you. You ready for this? It's my old apron. I hope you like it. Cool. What was I saying? Some games have gotten reprints as well that have not been retailer exclusive. One I think of is Katamari Damacy Reroll. I am pretty sure that was a GameStop exclusive originally. But now it's basically available everywhere. Like, you can go basically into any store and find a copy for, like, normal price, you know, new. I'm pretty sure even, like, Best Buy has a set where you get a code for the game and also a plush of the prince and the Katamari, so that's also cool. So yeah, I remember that game was very hard to find when it was GameStop exclusive, but when it became available to all retailers, now it's actually pretty common, and also now it's available on PS4 and Xbox One as well, and thus forward compatible too. I'm getting slightly off topic here because I really like Katamari actually, but to bring it back to Animal Crossing, someday I hope, 1, the cards will be less hard to find and, you know, not exclusive to one retailer, and 2, would be available for online shipping and not strictly through in-store. Alright, so with that tirade out of the way, there's something else I wanted to talk about, speaking of retailers. So between the previous video and this video, something got announced. Build-A-Bear is actually working on plushes for Animal Crossing New Horizons, and they look really cool. I probably won't be getting them because, to be blunt, I have too many plushes as is. I have like a ton of Pokemon sitting to my right. Also Owlboy from the hit indie game Owlboy. I have not played the game, but it actually came with a code for the game. Someday I'll actually play it, but the plush is very good. Anyway, the 2 characters so far are Isabel and Tom Nook, and this is kind of not going over particularly well because I think people were expecting more characters. I feel like this was about what I expected. I thought it would be KK Slider as well, but I think he'll eventually be added in. Right now it's just Isabel and Tom Nook, who are like the basic mascots of the series now, so it makes sense, but a lot of people were hoping for more deep cuts like, Blathers, Celeste, KK, etc. I don't think they're going to limit themselves to only like 2. Like with Pokemon, like Build-A-Bear plushes are honestly really expensive, like they're really high quality. So to put it bluntly, I don't think they like releasing more than a couple at a time because they want you to buy them all, and it's less daunting buying them in increments instead of all at once. So for example, with Pokemon, they would announce a Pikachu, release it, it would be out for a few months, it would go away, and then they would announce an Eevee, or some other Pokemon, like a Vulpix, and kind of rotate out characters from the series, because it gives people an opportunity to put it bluntly, to get more, to make it less daunting to buy all of these if it's spread out over a long period of time. It gives people time to gather funds for all of them instead of having to gather funds for like, $150 worth of plushes all at once. It's only like $50 for the one, and then $50 for one down the road. So I think overall it is a good marketing strategy, and I am not entirely, I'm very much, assuming that they will eventually make more. If they don't, then it will be kind of a problem, but as is, I think, based on the Pokemon line, there will definitely be more someday. But yeah, Tom Nook and Isabel make sense for the first 2, even though, at this point, I feel like people are kind of sick of them, just because they're so, overused, and somehow underused at the same time. Specifically, a lot of people don't like Isabel in this game because she doesn't really contribute much, and I definitely can see why, given how much she likes to talk about, like, watching documentaries and falling asleep. Yes, that happened before I, started recording this video. There's a reason why I've gotten to the point where I don't feel bad about cutting out Isabel's morning greetings, because they're kind of the same thing every day. Again, it's kind of a Splatoon 2 problem, but with Splatoon 2, they had more to talk about because they have to intro the stages. Still, in both cases, it should be skippable, and I hope for Splatoon 3, they finally make that skippable. So the final tidbit I wanted to get around to talking about is because I started working more on getting 1, works of art, and 2, blue roses. Still not exactly working out here, as you can see, but I did get a few more pieces of art because I'm actually down to just a few left, and basically a lot of fakes show up when Crazy Red appears. So lately I have been time traveling to try to basically find more real paintings, just because it's getting a lot harder naturally because of how many more fakes he has by comparison. But in the process of time traveling for this, 2 people moved out and 2 people moved in. So Shari, who was one of the original 2, moved out, and Celia moved out. In their places, we have Phoebe right here. Why is her house on fire? I've actually not been inside her house yet, and I'm like, it's cool that it's moving. I'm sure this is from Sahara because of that. But like, why is her house on fire? Oh, I haven't met you yet. Name's Phoebe. How are you doing? I just got here a few days ago, so I'm still filling the place out. Come find me if you want to chill, alright, Sparky? Alrighty then. I don't know what villager type Phoebe is. Because Shari moved out, I would assume a similar villager type to Shari, but I'm actually not sure on that. Alright, so the second villager who moved in is on the other side of town. At some point, I actually wonder if it would be possible to set up all of the houses on the other side of town. Just have a huge neighborhood set up, but I feel like that might mess up my perfect town because of not being able to put as much furniture around here. But it's something to think about someday. I am definitely trying to think of projects, since as is, there hasn't really been a whole lot added to the game in a while. But this is the second person who moved in. Technically, this is the first person who moved in because Celia moved out first. Yeah, this is another duck character. Check me out, I'm doing stuff. Making me an orange umbrella. One of the bugs in the floor whispered the DIY instructions in my ear while I was sleeping last night. So I gotta build it before I forget what it even is. What? You already know how to make an orange umbrella? That's real cool. You're always on top of things, and I'm usually stuck under them. I want to tell everybody about the orange umbrella, so I scribbled down the recipe. If you know anyone that wants to know how to make it, can you hand them this note? And maybe apologize for the cookie crease I smudged on the middle part? It'd be great if a bunch of folks made an orange umbrella. Alright, this is Weber. Obviously, he's a lazy type villager similar to, why can't I think of their name? Broccolo, that's what I was thinking of. I was also trying to think of the previous duck we had. Derwin, I think, was also a lazy type villager. So yeah, 2 new villagers, so now we have all villagers that we didn't start with, which is kind of cool, actually. And with that, that's about everything I wanted to talk about for now. And this is kind of a weird feeling, because I don't know what the next thing to talk about will be. They didn't say when the next update would be. I have a theory it'll be sometime between now and E3. Just because June is really far away, even though a 2.0 update would be cool to announce at E3, that's a long time away from now. So, I'm kind of expecting one update, like, around possibly, like, next week at the earliest, and then May at the latest, and then announce another summer update for E3. It's kind of weird to actually have E3 again, we didn't have that last year. So yeah, I actually have no idea when the next Animal Crossing video will be. It also might be, if I keep time traveling to complete the museum, it might be when I find the final real piece of art, which might happen before the next update drops. Either way, that's about all for now. Thank you for watching, and I hope you'll join me next time for more Animal Crossing New Horizons.